everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a review / comparison on books by Katherine Center. Mainly inspired by the fact that I just finished a book by Katherine Center that I didn't like. But I didn't want to focus on only reviewing this book because I have read some books by her that I really enjoy. So I thought I'd do a comparison kind of what I've read in the past and then talk about how this book was different from those books. So the first book I read by Katherine Center was called How to Walk Away. And I read that book because it was recommended by Jenny Lawson. And if you guys have not read Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson, you need to, because it is laugh out loud hilarious. It's a memoir, so it's about her growing up, and she lived with a father who had a whole lot of taxidermy animals. So there's like all these taxidermy animals all over her house, and she struggled with a pretty severe anxiety disorder, which is serious, and she talks about that and her wrestles with that more in her later books. But the way she presents it in her first book is just hilarious. The things she does and says, and it's just great. So I have read that in the past, so when I saw her recommend this book, I was like, let's see what Jenny is recommending these days. So I read How to Walk Away, and that is about a girl who is living her life, and she is in a plane crash, and she loses the feeling in her legs. She's completely paralyzed, like from the waist down. So it's about her wrestling with that and trying to move forward from that and dealing with her just life. And it is super well written, and you fall in love with the main character and the secondary character, and there's some kind of plot twists that go on, and I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really heartwarming read. So after that, and I picked up that one from the library. So after that, I really liked it, and I was like, I need more by Katherine Center. So I picked up both of these. So I read this one first. This is called Things You Save in a Fire. Really liked this one as well. This is about a female firefighter who has been in the same district of firefighting for her whole career, and she ends up moving partly to take care of her mother and partly for some other reasons, but she moves to another town across the country and has to become a part of this brand new fire department where they do not really accept women well at all. So it's about kind of her struggles in that situation. And again, loved the main character, loved just hearing her story, and there was some good plot twists that kind of kept me guessing, and there's a romance aspect of it that I liked. I just really enjoyed it. I was like, yes, this is a good book. I've been trying to steer away from contemporary fiction. I've been reading more mystery, fantasy, historical fiction, but sometimes you just need a good, easy read. So that's what these are for me, and I just really enjoyed this one as well. So then I am flying home, and I mentioned this in my last video that I was not feeling this book, but I was still holding on hope that it would get better. Flying home, decided to just do a plain read that was an easy read. So I started reading this, and I just didn't like it at all. I was so bummed, and I did some research after, and this was her first book written. So she's gotten better. I think if this had been the first book I had read of hers, I probably would not have continued. So I'm glad that I read her good stuff first, because her other books are recommended. This is not. So this is about a woman who is about to have a baby, and her fiance leaves her, and the next day she goes into labor. So then has to kind of go through the whole labor delivery, living with a newborn process on her own. And I just didn't like it for so many reasons. I didn't like the main character. Obviously I didn't like the fiance at all. I didn't like the plot. Just didn't feel like it really went anywhere. It didn't really have many twists. There was one kind of twist, but then it was I don't know. I just don't have a lot of good things to say about this. I mean, the end was kind of okay. It was super predictable. It didn't make me laugh. It didn't really make me feel like compassion for her. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I feel like part of it is because I have just raised three. I mean, I'm raising 3 young children right now. So the newborn phase, especially I have twins, so the newborn phase is very like raw in my mind. And I don't know if I just don't like reading about taking care of newborns. And maybe if I wasn't a mom, or maybe if I was more removed from that, I would have been more removed from that. It would have been like, oh, that's funny. But I don't know. It was just kind of her like raising this baby, and that was kind of it. So I was super bummed because I really liked Katherine Center's other books that I've read so far, but The Bright Side of Disaster was not one of them. So what can I say? I probably will pick up, she has a couple other books too. I probably will pick those up for light reads in the future, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I need a break. I don't want to be super disappointed again. So that is what I have to say about Katherine Center today. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or morning or whatever time it is where you are. Bye.